Up the Ruben Hive.
Good performance, man. Don't ever leave Chelsea. Never give up. Loftus-Cheek, always.
Testing, can you lot hear me? Just making sure.
All good, all good, all good.
All good in the hood. Very interesting last 20 minutes. Of course, Brentford 0, Chelsea 1. Everyone take a deep breath, relax. We've got the most important thing, 3 points, of course. Matt will be taking over the stream very shortly as well. He'll be, of course. Matt, how are you, first of all?
Been Chelsea since youth, but couldn't get a game on loan at Palace. It wasn't just the same in centre mid now. He's playing every week. Lewis Shabalak. It's Ruben Loftus-Cheek. First time in a long while I've heard that chant from the TV. That made my day.
I was surprised.
He was awesome today. He was awesome today.
It's about time.
Awesome.
He was very good today.
Andrew, give him his flowers, Andrew.
I'm sorry, but before we praise Loftus-Cheek, the first words out your mouth should be, "Thank God we've got Edouard Mendy."
Oh yeah,
No,
we'll get into Mendy, but yeah.
No, before we praise any player, the first player we should be praising is Edouard Mendy.
Can we get the hive started? He deserves a hive. He deserves a hive, in my opinion.
No question.
He doesn't need a hive. He doesn't need a hive.
Appreciation. He's the reason.
Man.
He's the reason we're escaping with any points today.
Man of the match for sure. Man of the match for sure.
Man of the match before. Then we can praise everyone else. But Mendy,
yeah.
everyone who comes on the stream,
Matt said
Mendy first and then others second.
Matt said before those Mendy moments, Loftus-Cheek was our best player. Is that correct?
Maybe on the pitch in the 11.
Yes, he was very. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. I don't want to focus on negatives, but Kovačić was ass cheeks today, man.
I think he had Harry Potter's cloak of invisibility because he was visible
passing today.
Both him and Azpi as well, completely invisible.
But Ruben was very good progressing with the ball. I like the way his movement. He's very good, but Edouard Mendy, man, jeez, don't give me Alisson, don't give me Edison. Edouard Mendy is the best goalkeeper in Europe and the world.
Yeah,
in the world.
I genuinely can't think of anyone else.
He's just awesome.
Bias aside, I genuinely can't think anyone that consistent that I've seen come in, especially as well. So
what's the criticism we always get with Mendy? Oh yeah, but he plays against a good defense. Behind the defense.
Today.
That's what world-class people do. Today was a big save. About 70. They were good up until 70 minutes, and then.
Do you know what that reminded me of? Remember when Man United had that crap defense, and De Gea was making them saves every 5 minutes?
Yeah.
It was that kind of moment, and it was fantastic. I mean, for Mendy, I've always said he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. I think it's criminal that he isn't in the Ballon d'Or. Donnarumma is just some waste man playing in the Serie A. Mendy is the best goalkeeper. He's got the record for the least goals conceded in a Champions League season. He is absolutely fantastic. He's making saves game after game. He's not got a weakness at all in his game, apart from maybe penalties, but it's all right. We've got super penalty Kepa on the bench. I don't see how anyone, people talk about Mendy hives. Hives are only for players that are underappreciated, that need appreciation. There is no one not appreciating Mendy, so there's no need for a Mendy hive because he's already at the top.
I want it from rival fans.
Yeah, but rival. I don't give a damn what Man United fans or rival fans say. They're irrelevant to me. I only care about what Chelsea fans say. But one more thing I'll say on Ruben quickly.
Matt, I just want to say right now, he's second best goalie we've ever had behind Piatek.
I agree 100%. Best keeper in the world right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say him and Benetti are probably tied on for me at the moment. But...
Oh yeah, but people have bought in the last 30 years. So
he's made way more big saves than Courtois ever made. Way more big saves.
Oh yeah, Courtois is nothing compared to this guy. Nothing. But one thing I'm going to say about Ruben.
Go on, Matt. Go on.
Ruben is the guy that we all thought Kovačić and what we want Kovačić to be. Kovačić is I've always said this. If Ruben gets back to his best, Ruben will become what we all want Kovačić to be. And today, I think it was in the first 2 minutes, he made that darting run that we went to past 2 or 3 players. And I think he just made the pass was just a little bit behind Werner. But if you had that on,
he played it to Werner, and Werner messed, though he had more time, he tried to pick the shot.
No, but I think it was when I looked at it, I think he was originally going for Lukaku, but Lukaku was way behind him, and then it went to Werner, and I don't think Werner was expecting to get it, but it's one of them things. I mean, Ruben's run, absolutely phenomenal. Man's a beast. I mean, there was that opportunity where he just pushed, was it Uneku or whatever his name is? He was a dickhead with that little challenge after.
How did he
just pushed, because Anthony-Taylor tax.
To be fair, we won on the Anthony Taylor, fam.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I'll take that.
I mean, one thing I want to say is, we had this stupid discussion yesterday about Pulisic and Callum Hudson-Odoi, which is fair enough. It always happens under Chelsea.
Was Pulisic in
but
it? I didn't know Pulisic was in it.
Well, we're not going to go into it again because I lost brain cells listening to it at times. But we forgot to mention about Brentford. I think a lot of us some certain people on the stream yesterday were underestimating Brentford. I mean, I didn't get to give my prediction because it just erupted into the CHO debate, but I always thought it was going to be 1-1 in this match because Brentford.
I kept telling you guys, I'm scared.
Sending shots at me, man. Sending shots at me.
No, that's not just you. I think.
No, but listen. My 3-0. I was just taking the mic. I was just like, yeah. Listen, we're gonna beat a 3-0. I don't know why we're
people were calling them a newly promoted team. It's fine, but the only loss they've had this season was a last-minute goal by Leonardo Trossard. Liverpool had the arrogance.
Their fans were world class today.
Yeah. The Liverpool had the big team arrogance. Went there thinking they were going to win, and they drew. Chelsea went there with big game arrogance when we had a couple of injuries, and we could have lost that game. And I knew with this defense, Liverpool had a full strength squad and drew. So we shouldn't have underestimated them. We were going without Rudiger and without Silva, and that was a big difference. I knew that Sarr and Chalobah at some point, they played really well for the first 60 minutes, but after that 60 minutes, their inexperience got involved. Yeah. Tony and Chalobah started having a duel, and Chalobah was losing it. Sarr was just doing some silly little things, but I knew that was going to happen because they're just so inexperienced, and Sarr hasn't played a 90 minutes yet. So I knew that was going to happen, but a lot of people were going, "Oh, it's going to be 3-0, 3-1." Someone said 5-0 yesterday.
Nah, he always said he's superstitious, but I said it yesterday. I was telling Alex, I'm nervous because of their 2 strikers, and you could see that they caused us havoc. I was like, either one of Rudiger or Silva out. I was nervous because, Silva brings that calmness. You know what I mean? When that game's under pressure, even those clearances just booting it up invited more pressure on us. So, say Silva, he's in the back, he could just play a ball out and just could start an attack. Or Rudiger on the left just has experience of disrupting their flow or getting in on Mbuema or something like that, disrupting them and stuff like that. At the point, it just came at that point we were just defending for our lives with no experience of how to game manage.
I mean, one thing I want to say as well. I mean, I don't want to moan at him because he has had a brilliant last few months, but this just proves that Rudiger has been the man that's been helping Christensen out, because Christensen on his own couldn't command that defense anywhere near as well as Silva or Rudiger does.
And people don't want to offer this man Rudiger a higher contract.
I know, Rudiger, just pay Rudiger whatever he needs, and even Silva. If Silva wants to stay, I'd keep him another season as long as he keeps this up for the rest of the season, because his body is a temple. He keeps his body so well. So if he can play, I don't see why we can't have him for another season. Until he falls off, Silva is one of our best defenders. Full stop.
Keep him until he's 45 if he keeps up the performances.
I think.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he looks tired and looks out of it. Lukaku doesn't look like that. He has that spring that he had at the beginning of the season. I think he needs a rest in the league.
I think he's getting. I think he's getting fed up with passes.
Guys,
I think he's getting fed up with passes.
I just want to say a few things because I do need to disappear quickly.
Go on.
Everyone, just if you guys can, we're top of the league, of course. Please like the video. I want to get into proper depth with this amazing panel. Of course, they're going to be getting into it. Subscribe if you're new here. Hit the bell notification as always. Big up Sarana for the donation as well. Big up myself, Alfred, Andrew, Matt, Josh, and Zavi. Big up all the family. These games are more of grit than flair. We need these wins for EPL. I totally agree with that. I was frustrated at times, but these are the type of results that I'll take any day of the week, basically. You know, you get the win in. That's the most important thing that we want to see. The question I do want to put out there, and before I put this question out, fair play to Ben Chilwell. He's done fantastic. He deserves his spot 100%. I totally agree. But I feel some of the comments that I've seen around him are too hyped up, in my opinion. I still think it's early to say that he's on that top performance. So, but listen, he's doing a very, very good job. 2-2.
That's all I know.
He has been better than Alonso. I do admit that as well. So he deserves his spot 100%. But I still feel fans should be a bit more realistic with their assessment. And the last one is I did mention about Lukaku's performances recently, and I do want you guys to look into it a bit more in this stream because I felt it really wasn't his game tonight again, in my opinion.
But the thing is, Sadiq, is it his game or are the players around him?
Yeah, I was going to make the point.
Ruben driving, like we had.
No, but
The man's not getting any service at all.
Can I make a point? I purposely watched because I knew this was going to come up because a lot of people have been talking about it. I watched Lukaku for a good 20-30 minutes, just him, no one else. And the amount of times he'd make a run, have his hands up ready for wanting the ball, and someone would take 3 or 4 seconds to pass it to him and he was offside, or it would completely ruin it. We had no player that wanted to make that killer pass at all. No one. Even like Ruben was doing it very occasionally, and sometimes he did a couple of good ones to Werner, but no one else was making that killer pass at all. And it's getting to the point where no one is combining with Lukaku. Even Werner to a point is doing okay, but they're still not fully clicked. I expect that to click in the next few games if you continue playing it. But everyone else,
they weren't even close, bro. They weren't even close.
There was no one really connecting with him, and that's the problem. He can't do it all by himself, and that is the problem. I do think he needs to step up as well in some parts of his game, but he's making runs that just people are not picking up on, and this kind of happened with Werner last season too. I think we lack that. I don't know what it is. We lack that type of footballing intelligence in our midfield. Players like Kovačić, players like even like Kante. We've said Kante's not the best with making his passes with the ball, and even some of that Havertz, Werner to a point, Ziyech. Everyone that's played, they haven't got that footballing intelligence to make a killer pass. We don't have that Kevin De Bruyne type player who can make a ball split and pass for a defense. I mean, the first pass of that type that happened was one that Chalobah made to Chilwell. And that's bad when your 20-year-old defender is the first one to make a ball split and pass. None of the midfielders, none of the forwards. I think people need to... I've given Lukaku time because I know it's not... I can see it's not him. I can see it's other people. You look at how Lukaku plays for Belgium, and you've got De Bruyne, you've got Carrasco, you've got Hazard, you've got all the other players. They are in sync with Lukaku, and they know to pass.
That's the same with Tammy. When Tammy was here, it was the same. It was generally the same thing. I know that.
Tammy never made the intelligent runs that Lukaku's trying to make.
But he did make runs, bro. Let's be real.
Some, but nowhere near as much as Lukaku.
No, I'm not saying he's anywhere near Lukaku. Let me make it very clear.
The thing with Tammy, Tammy made some good runs, but he also sometimes stood still like a plonker at times. And I was kind of like at points, I was like, just move. If you're not getting the ball standing still, make a run. But the problem is Lukaku, he makes them runs and no one's playing it to him. There was a time where we were just recycling the ball side to side, and he was in between the two centre-backs, and he kept spinning to go in between the centre-backs, and no one was making that pass. And it was so frustrating to see that, because this is the world-class striker. If you obviously he made that miss, and I'll criticise him for making that miss because I expect him to do better with that. But Werner was offside anyway. But normally you give him a chance in front of goal when he scores. So we need to give him them chances. We need to feed the ball to him. I don't care if people go, "Oh, we just put Lukaku's the main chink of our team." So we paid 100 million for him. I expect him to be the main part of our team. I expect us to play around Lukaku. But I don't see why our players are struggling with this killer pass. If we don't get that, then that could be the difference between winning this league and losing it. Because at the moment, Liverpool are scoring a lot of goals. Man City will score a lot of goals. It may get to a point where goal difference makes a difference at the end. If we're not scoring these goals because we can't feed our striker properly, then it's useless.
Well said. Ads, I want to introduce you quickly before I disappear. I know you was fuming at the result.
I'm gassed, bro. That's a brilliant result, bro. I'm gassed. That's a brilliant result, man.
Bro, you said on Snapchat that it wasn't good enough and we should have lost, and we're lucky.
Yeah, we should have lost. We deserve to lose, bro, but that's an excellent result, bro. With Sarr and Chalobah at the back, man, that's a very, very good result, man. I'm happy with that, man.
And talk to me about Ben Chilwell, because you sent me some important stats in this first half to me.
Yeah, man. Ben Chilwell, everyone needs to drop their agenda, man. The guy's a top left back, bro. I had enough of it, man. He's way better than Marcus Alonso, man. I've been saying this.
That's my man.
MA Hive dead.
He's way better than Marcus Alonso, man. As a footballer, he's way better. The guy took a bit of time at the start when Tuchel came in to get used to a wing-back role, but the position that he picks up now and defensively, he's just solid, man. He's a great left-back, man. I don't see a hate on him. For me, second best left-back in the league after Robertson. I'm not hearing this Luke Shaw talk, man. He's the most overrated footballer in the whole world.
Preach!
Well,
that a boy.
yeah, I mean, listen, I've not heard that much fire from ads recently.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some stuff that Chilwell was struggling at as well, but I see enough in him that he's number one.
And man, Sarr was good, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
who adds that was overrated?
Luke Shaw.
Oh, okay.
Well, I thought Sarr was brilliant in the first hour. I think that last half an hour, both him and Chalobah their inexperience kind of showed a little bit.
But I can't blame him.
But even then, in that last half an hour, the guy was making bare blocks in
Yeah, but no, but I understand that.
I will get ripped defensively.
They shined that last 30 minutes, man.
I'm not blaming him.
Very good, man.
Chilwell was struggling defensively.
Yeah, Sarr made some good moments. I mean,
why you have to repeat it twice? I don't get it.
It's like with that.
I got to put it out there because Sarr was
strong. What are you talking about?
Well, the long balls in the air, bro. He was struggling, bro.
He was like struggling defensively. They got like 6'5" brothers all in the box just doing flick-ons, bro.
The
That is not called struggling defensively. It's called not being tall enough. There's not anything.
The only thing Chilwell struggled in that game was some of his passing, which he could have improved.
And his corners were shit.
Yeah, his
corners.
And his balls back into the box.
At the same time, if I'm talking about his passes, hold on. If I'm talking about his passes, everyone was poor at their passes. So that I'm not going to talk about Chilwell.
The way everyone's going on about Chilwell, they need to calm down. He was very good. Yes, he was very good. But the way they're overrating him so much, like relax, calm down.
I can understand. He scored the game winner, so they're a little bit hyped right now.
If Alonso's
done that as well. That's what I'm saying.
He's overrated. Look out, they overrate him because he's doodle.
He would have got destroyed.
Yeah, people like you overrated Alonso, Sadiq.
Yeah,
listen, my one's just banter at times, isn't it? Like, let's be real. Listen, Alex, before I disappear, talk to me about Azpi, man. In a bit, you lot.
Good alley.
I knew you're gonna bring me up soon as the Azpi conversation going on. Azpi is Azpi on the right wing. For me, it's
invisible.
I don't want to argue. I don't want to be negative after that kind of win. That is important win. Let's take that. This is why I like Premier League.
Yeah.
Because any team can give you hell and make you look like you're playing against Barcelona. That literally reminds me of how Chelsea played against Barcelona in 2012 in the semi-final away game. We could not control. And I think I was listening to Matt saying that Sarr was good for 60 minutes and that was bad. This is not, for me, it was not. Sarr did good. The whole defense crumbled when Kovačić was taken off and we lost control of the midfield.
Yeah,
as soon as the midfield.
Yeah.
Well, it's. I don't know if I actually wanted Kovačić.
That's what happens
Mount.
when you bring Mason Mount on, because Mason Mount was absolutely dreadful.
I'm not getting on Mount. I'm not getting on Mount's back either. I'm getting on people saying that Sarr was good and then he was shit. He wasn't shit. Chalobah wasn't shit. If you lose control of the complete midfield and front, you're gonna be under pressure constantly. So it's not like it's like a pinball at the end. You can't get all of them out.
Yeah, no defender can handle that all the time.
Exactly. That's it's just horrible. I think it started when Kovačić was subbed.
Yeah,
it was also.
But at the same time, I wanted Kovačić based on his last 5 minutes before he was subbed. I was thinking he should go first, but I didn't think it's gonna affect the game that much.
Yeah,
like when I saw Mount, I was like,
because you could dribble out, you could escape pressure. So like those things, like him. Sorry, man. Those things like escaping pressure and easing off the defense and keeping the ball in tight spaces. We kept giving it up to them, and it was just an onslaught and onslaught. I thought because Kovačić missed a couple passes. That's the thing about him in the final third. I was like, oh my god, just play it to him. But then he's just so good in escaping pressure. So I was like, we lose one aspect, but then it's like we expect Mount to like make up for that. You know what I mean?
One quick thing about Aspi, because there's a little bit on Aspi for the reason why Chalobah got stuck with that forward one-on-one. Aspi is supposed to be a conservative right wing back, right? But all of a sudden, he didn't even play like he was a conservative wing back, and he brought the pressure on Chalobah because of that. So for me, I don't think our defense was, and it just proves that Sarr was so good today. I was impressed. For me, the second half of my check.
Is he breaking
a long time as a defense? Yeah, Chalobah was good as well.
I thought all three center backs were really good today.
Yeah, Christensen was good, but it's expected from Christensen.
Yeah,
I feel like. Wait, is it anybody? Can you hear me? Is the connection bad or something?
No, you're okay.
Oh, all right. I feel like for Sarr to come in his first game and play like he did, because if you look at it, there were some times where he read across on the cover where, like, I think Mbuemo got in and he covered it on the ball. And you look at Chalobah to have the know-how to go on the line and clear that ball out. For just some young guys, they're doing some pretty good stuff, you know what I mean? And Sarr has just come in, and like a physical team like that, I think he did well. And he's making some good challenges. I think where we lost it was that protection, like as Alex was saying, then he dropped. But that protection in the midfield, and it's just like this is where our experience that we needed, because we needed someone to calm that pressure. Because once they got that pressure going, it was nonstop. And it's like their throw-ins were like corners, bro. Oh, and they were getting the first contact every time.
Yeah, their throw-ins are like corners, and it was nuts. It was nuts.
Yeah. I mean, big up to Sir Enough of Super Chat. Brentford equals Tony Pulis' Stoke City long balls. I mean, yeah, but they were useful. I'd rather play long balls if it's useful rather than sideways, backwards, sideways, goal kick. But I mean, my point on the whole Sarr Chalobah thing, I wasn't saying that they were bad. I'm just saying I do agree with you that the Kovačić signing did the substitution did change it. I think also the Brentford's substitutes that they brought on just switched the tempo as well. But the problem I had is I was fine to take Kovačić off because one, he had a yellow card, so you kind of had no choice, and two, he was quite bad generally in the game anyway. But my point was I thought you'd bring on Jorginho to take control of the tempo with Kante and Ruben Loftus-Cheek covering him. He brought on Mount, but the problem is Mount was playing like an inside forward tonight. He wasn't playing in that midfield, so we automatically went from 3 in the midfield to 2 in the midfield, and then we lost control. And then when Mount tried to come back, he was just ineffective.
Jorginho is just too slow and weak, man. He would have, with all those long balls and throw-ins, he would have struggled.
Nah, you would have bought control. You would have bought control to midfield.
Yeah, but he would have bought control.
I don't think so. The way the game was going,
we couldn't get a foot on the ball. Jorginho wouldn't have.
In the first 15 minutes, we had about 80% possession because we had control of the midfield. If we took control of the midfield, most of them at the second half. First 15 minutes of the second half, we had about 80% possession, and Brentford had nothing. But when we took Kovačić off and dropped the midfield, that's when they started getting the ball, creating all the chances, and that's when we lost control. If Jorginho come on and he had the protection, go on.
You continue or no?
Yeah, go on. Guys, finish, guys. Let them finish before interrupting. It's just, it stops.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you had Kante and Ruben protecting Jorginho in effect with the press, I think he would have been all right, and we would have controlled the ball a bit more, and they would have had less chances. I think the thing is with Sarr and Chalobah, I expected by the end of the game some of their. It's not that they played bad. It's just some of their inexperience would come in, and they made a few mistakes. They jumped into a few things. It was like the Mbumbo the when he hit the post. That was where Sarr took a few steps forward and then got caught out, and that's when Mbumbo went behind him and then hit the post, which obviously that could have gone to goal. But I'm not blaming Sarr particularly in that moment. I just think it's a bit of inexperience where they haven't played much football and they're just inexperienced at this level to deal with a constant pressure. I feel if you had the likes of Rudiger, if you had the likes of Silva, and if you had the likes of Jorginho on the pitch, we would have controlled the ball a lot more. We wouldn't have given Brentford them chances in the first place.
I don't know.
I think Brentford showed how you just take a pressing midfielder out of the game, and that's what they did after they made changes as well. They took the pressing off. I thought our subs were completely wrong. I thought Mount was wrong. I thought Hazard was wrong Havertz wrong to bring up. Should have kept Lukaku on. Getting hammered because he was clearing balls as well. I thought the subs weren't good today at all. And Kovačić, I thought Jorginho would have run on and just kept control of the midfield because we were having that, even though our passing was rubbish as per usual. We're very fortunate, and you know what? Most teams that go to Brentford this season aren't going to win or even draw. They're going to hit a lot of people. So,
I mean, Liverpool have already cost it.
Liverpool, they hammered Liverpool. Draw, I know, but we just, I thought the manager didn't do well with the subs today.
Lukaku was useless up there, man.
But not defending though, because he was clearing.
Yeah, but you not see how lethargic he was. He was literally not pressing anything. He was just giving a centre back so much.
I make the point.
But Kai got his head on a few as well.
Kai's weak.
But he got a head on a few of them as well.
No,
I mean, I would have made the point of taking Werner off because Werner's at the end of the day, Brentford were always going to score from a corner or one of them throw-ins.
Yeah.
So if you took Werner off and brought Havertz on, then you'd have Havertz and Lukaku for the height as well as for the counter attack because Werner was putting in a shift, but he couldn't do much. So it would have made more sense to keep both of them on and have more height because that's one thing we struggle with Chelsea. As soon as that lineup come out, I looked and was like, we're going to struggle for height because Sarr is not a big centre back. Chalobah is not the biggest. Christensen's not the most physical. We're losing Silva and Rudiger, despite them not being tall. They're very physical in the air. So we only really had Lukaku and Ruben as the physical guys to make to clear the headers, and where they commonly overload that back post, which we nearly got caught out of. I felt bringing Havertz on would have just given us that height. It sounds a bit.
But Matt, they only did that when we lost the midfield. We gave them the midfield.
Well, they did it. They did it in the first. They did it in the first half as well when they hit the post.
Not so much, but when we gave them Kovačić and didn't replace him with Jorginho, that was when we gave up the midfield. So we basically said, just hit it long. That's all, and they did. They hit it long.
I don't think you know why I don't think Jorginho would have changed the game because once we were escaping that press, right, our forwards weren't really doing anything, and we were losing those balls. And when they're attacking more of our wings as well. So anything they go one-on-one with the defenders, we were always clearing it out for those throw-ins that were pretty much corners. So, like, if Jorginho's calming the game, the movement around us was still poor, as it always is. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't even think, like, Jorginho, and he would have struggled physically, too, as well. I can understand if Jorginho had someone in front of him that was going to actually, like, hold up and make movements off the ball, but we were just losing it all the time. Our attacks kept breaking down. and that's a problem. I don't know who you guys would have put on in. I think, honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. I thought Mount was gonna do something. I thought this was a game for him with his energy, but like, yeah, I don't want to speak on that too much, but
he did nothing. He was taken out of the game.
There was nothing for Mount to do though. That's the thing.
That's because he was taken out of the game. They went. I know what we're going to do. He's going to press. I'm just going to hit it over him. That's it. He's taken out of the game, and he didn't.
Yeah, and we didn't. We barely got on the ball when he was on the pitch.
Exactly, and even his defensive work was the midfield after that. The defensive work was suspect because they couldn't get the ball. They didn't press properly. We got hounded. We got boxed in, and we're just very fortunate for. Remember, Chalobah cleared off the line as well, guys.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's what I was saying to Matt. Like, not even Matt. I was saying, like, as inexperienced these guys are, like, I'm really impressed because certain decisions to go back, to have the awareness to go back on. Like, Matt, I agree with you saying, like, the inexperienced show. I agree with you, but like, I'm impressed. I can't really blame them too much because they were just defending what they do and what they had to do. You know what I mean? Like, I get what Matt is saying, but I was also impressed because Ivan Toney and Buemo are going to cause a lot of defensive problems to a lot of people and stuff like that. I just think it's a good thing we got out of this, bro, because I was just watching the game just thinking they're going to score any minute now. Mendy, world class, but it's one of those coming after international break that we just had to get through. And it's just one of those we just forget about. We got the 3 points and just keep moving because I don't want to go to Brentford away, bro. I just don't want to go there.
That was harder than playing 10 men in Anfield.
Yeah, I mean,
that was harder.
So when I saw Sarr on the team sheet, I straight away just thought he didn't do well in the Carabao Cup. I'm going to panic a little bit, but he did absolutely fantastic. I mean, I would say when he's called upon, I'm happy to call upon him. Same as Chalobah. They've both played decently well. They made mistakes, but obviously they're in such a pressured situation. Sometimes there's a saying that you make diamonds at the biggest pressure. So
Diamond is a rock that just did really well under pressure.
I forgot we had Sarr. I was doing a preview during the week, and I was like worried about our defense, and I forgot we had Sarr. So I didn't. I didn't. I knew we had him, but I just thought after his performance last time, I just didn't think he played well enough, and I thought it would be a bit too much of a risk. I would have but obviously, I imagine that with Reece James, I think probably wasn't fit enough.
Yeah,
100% to start. Yeah, because I that's what I thought. I was like, well, normally you'd play Chalobah there and Azpi and centre back, as we said, but obviously, I assumed that Reece James probably wasn't fit enough, and obviously Tuchel was confirmed that now, so that's good. Major General N'Golo Kante, I get your point saying that they're very similar in terms of height between Rudiger, Chalobah, Sarr, and Silva, but it's not just about height; it's the way you jump when you go for a header. Silva and Rudiger, despite being similar sizes to Chalobah and Sarr, they're much better at leaping for the ball and getting up
and reading. Reading
the header. Sarr, most of his time, he's actually played as a left back as well as a centre back, so he's not used to having to make them jumps as much. He's not as good at that. It's just not part of his game. Chalobah as well. He's okay. He's better than Sarr, but he's still not able to read the headers as well as the likes of Rudiger and Silva. Silva, despite being 1.8 meters, 3 meters high, he is a beast in the air because he's always reading it and getting exactly the right time and knowing when to jump and his athleticism to jump. So it's not always about height. You can have defenders at 6'4", 6'5", but they can't jump for shit and they get beat in the air. So it's not all about height. It's about a combination of things. And Silva and Rudiger are really good with the ball, and that's why generally with corners we're quite good when they're on the pitch. But obviously Chalobah, that's something that you can improve on and Sarr over time because they're young players, so I don't expect them to have that good reading of the game. But today I thought they did well. I mean, they want if you look on all the score ratings, they want some of the best players on the pitch. So I would agree with that. That first 60 minutes, I thought Sarr was an absolute rock, and he did even in that 30 minutes where he struggled a little bit at times, he was making some great tackles that I didn't expect.
You know what impressed me, Matt? That play where he had to come over from left back, because sometimes Rudiger can get caught like that. Like, he doesn't shift over quickly enough. Don't get me wrong, world-class Rudiger, but sometimes, like that Chiesa goal, he went over. It was a play in the game where he had to be there. Like, he's the last man and he shifted over. I was very impressed with that. Even those challenges, I guess, is on Onyeko or something like that, getting stuck in, winning headers, reading the ball. I mean, sometimes we get caught off, but for his first start especially, like that, like getting thrown Brentford away, defensive when you know they're just gonna. That's the best part of the team because they got no really build-up play. Like they really are a straightforward team. So those strikers up top will cause you a lot of problems. And I feel like we did it very well. I was really nervous without Rudiger or Silva in there. And they got by the skin of our teeth, we got through. But I was in press and I reiterated, like we got to look at the factors around it. Like a lot of our players coming back from international break as well. We got injuries. And we just needed to get out of this because Brentford, a lot of teams are going to struggle at Brentford.
I understand that, and I do agree with you, but the passing today is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah,
but this is the 5-3. I think this formation, though, bro.
No,
like,
I don't believe the formation. No, it was not even.
Like but we have the same issue in 3-4-3 as well.
The same issue
3-4-3. We just don't have that De Bruyne like player who can make that killer pass out of nothing.
They're not even. Matt, I'm not talking about killer passes. I'm talking very simple passes moving forward. Like Kovačić was the main culprit today for me. First half, there was a ball like he had either Werner or Lukaku he could put it into. He put it in between them. And the second half, he had Chilwell ready to roll, and just hit it too long. And then there was this other thing. I mean, people are having a go at Romelu Lukaku in the comments saying, "Oh, he's not mobile enough." You really need to watch the game because he makes runs all the time. If you think he's not mobile enough, you really don't know what
you're not watching the game.
And he's really not a hold-up striker.
Yeah, and
you don't
know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
really.
if you're saying that, you're just a United fan.
You just wanted Haaland. That's what you're saying when you say that. Your agenda's out there. But you know, I just think that needs addressing as well. Again, just the simple balls forward. I don't care about De Bruyne killer pass. These are just simple ones, man. They're just joke. I mean, Kovačić, total ass today, man. He was very poor, very very poor. So was most of the attack. Really, I just thought it lacked any impetus whatsoever and very poor. We are so slow in the build-up as well. Oh my god, the build-up is so slow. And then we don't. For ironically enough, the offside goal was probably our best counter-attacking of the season. You know, after they hit the post, and then we went up and like
that was just unlucky.
That was our best counter-attack of the season. We are so slow. It just needs more. It needs to tell them the build-up needs to be faster. We need to.
I've complained about this for a while.
It's just so slow.
It's all backwards and forwards, and it's not direct enough. I've complained about this.
Or one more touch. It's one more touch around the box, or it's passing backwards. It's not just hit it. Just hit it. If you see Lukaku run and hit it, and then you've got, if it gets him, you go, okay, well, give me the ball now. What are you gonna do? That's what it should be.
And this is where I feel like Reece James is really unlucky because I feel like during the start of the season, he's been one of our best like attackers going forward in terms of like even getting forward and just hitting it in the box. Like as we would get to the byline, Lukaku's there putting his hands up and then he just goes back. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
it's not them. But we won.
Yeah.
Big up Shernaz.
Yeah.
It just feels like a war victory. Bro, my heart was racing the whole time because I'm just like, Jesus Christ, when is this gonna end?
I'm telling you, I didn't feel this nervous.
It just feels like a war victory.
No,
bro, my heart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, with Reece James as well, straight away in the first games that he was playing, he was linking up with Lukaku really well. But we haven't seen that because he hasn't been playing. I think we get him back in that right wing back consistently. I think he's going to be one of them players that does find Lukaku. So hopefully we can see that when he comes back. I mean, we've got two new guys into the panel, Alfred and KJ. How you doing, guys?
Well, I haven't checked yet because I came straight onto the stream right after the game, but I may have shit myself after the last 20 minutes. But no, we're
You better not have white pants on.
no blue jeans, luckily. no, but look, we it wasn't pretty, but we got the win. You know, at the end of the day, the same supporters. I'm talking about, for example, Manchester United supporters now, when David De Gea was constantly saving their ass all these years, and they were getting the kind of wins that we got today. You know, they were saying that, well, our keeper saved us. We got the win. A win is a win. So now they can go on Twitter, talk all their crap like I bet you they are. And yeah, it is what it is. We got the win. We did what Liverpool couldn't do, what Arsenal couldn't do, and I think they beat Manchester United as well, didn't they?
Who? Brentford.
Brentford.
I think they beat Arsenal. They haven't played United.
Nah, they haven't played Man U yet.
They've not played
They beat-
United or City yet. They've not played.
Yeah,
United
they beat
City.
Arsenal. They've
Spurs.
drew against Liverpool, and yeah, they haven't played. the
Beat
rest.
West Ham away. That's a
They beat West Ham away. That was a good result. Before we get into some more stuff, big up Alex Haynes for a super chat. What's up, guys? Been a while. Thought back three was really good under the circumstances, and when we lost control in the midfield, Lukaku disappointing, Mendy the goat. Yeah, I mean Lukaku. As we said, I think there are circumstances to put reasons to that, and it will just. I think it's going to take time, hopefully. But I think the players around him need to improve, and I think one guy that I feel would really improve our team, and I think it's been mentioned before, is Chiesa. Chiesa will definitely improve this side, and I don't want to get into the debate of last night, but I think if we had Christian Pulisic in this side, fit and ready, I think he brings a lot of dynamic into the side. So we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see for him to come back. And even I'm gonna be balanced on this. If Callum Hudson-Odoi can get back and play some games and be consistent, I think if he can get back to his Sarri days, then he can bring that too. But we need to see it from both of them. They both need to get games times in the next few games when Pulisic gets back fit, which I hopefully will be soonish. And Callum will get games probably in the Malmo games, the League Cups at least. And then we can see the scope, because at the moment, even Havertz coming on wasn't really that impressed. Mount came on. I'm not going to slag him off, but wasn't impressed at all. Was just literally running around but contributing nothing.
Headless chicken.
Yeah, headless chicken. That was actually perfect. And obviously Ziyech, we know, has been disappointed. I do think I was talking to my mate about it last night because we were discussing about how possible this headache thing. I do think might be a genuine reason behind it, because obviously he's had this shoulder injury where he's obviously wearing the brace, and that is affecting his shoulder. But you can commonly get headaches from compression in the neck. So my thoughts is maybe he's having struggles with that shoulder, which is causing headaches from the neck, which then that is not as simple as taking a paracetamol, because the only reason that I could think Ziyech is struggling from headache problems. But let's see how it goes. I mean, we'll see.
My shoulder was out.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wait, it's not morning anymore. Flip me, guys. Sorry.
What the hell?
You've been drinking?
Oktoberfest night in the campus, innit?
But you went to the game?
I've been drinking some, JD's, Jägermeisters with my fellow master degree students, man. Saturday night, Oktoberfest in the SU, innit?
So you didn't go to the game?
Yeah, man. How you guys been doing? You know what? Can I say something about the performance first before I nearly throw myself up again? I'm just gonna say, I think that in the second half we were fortunate enough to get a win, because I feel like if you look at the stats in the second half, we weren't really attacking their defense. So I think we're just gonna sit back and hang on for the 45 minutes. It feels like a Liverpool game for me, even though we were 11 men today. But you have to give credit to Brentford; they really try, and you have to give massive credit to Edouard Mendy. Oh yeah, Andrew, I can't lie, your guy has to be the man of the match for me.
Oh yeah, they gave him.
That's our guy, bro.
That's
our guy. It's not. No one's against Mendy. Maybe Sadiq. Sadiq's always kept behind, but
He's all
Maybe
right guy,
Sadiq.
man.
Sadiq's
He's
Kepa
a-
and Marcus Alonso.
He's every Chelsea fan's guy. That's
Big up to
so-
Sadiq, man. Sorry, Sadiq. I was like, I'm not
That
in a good
bike
state
kick.
right now.
I thought that bike kick was going in.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Do you
I'm not in a good state. I'm not-
reminded by? Go on.
Yeah, go on. What do you want to say?
I was gonna say that bicycle kick reminded me of the Brighton one on New Year's Day. That was also a 1-1 equaliser as well. But Mendy, wow, what a save!
It was
what
a great save. That was like the save, one of the save of the season.
There was one.
I don't get how this guy's not in Ballon d'Or. I don't understand. Like I'm sorry,
there is close range.
It's just FIFA.
I'm sorry, but Donnarumma is just a waste man in Serie A. He's not pulling out saves like that.
Yeah.
And look at his ratings on FIFA. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's disgusting. I mean, most Chelsea players have got disgusting ratings, but there we go. It's a dead game.
I think Mendy was
KJ, we didn't really get. Yeah, 11.
Yeah. Yo.
11.
Yo, Sadiq.
Over out.
He's not here. He's not here.
Yo, Sadiq, can I ask you a question?
I'm AFK. Quickly, go on.
When are we gonna do the pro clubs?
I've been asking him. I've been asking this man.
I got my FIFA already.
Why is there a finger behind you? Like, what?
Yeah, what?
Yo,
I think it's that green screen.
Sadiq, avoid my question. I'm drunk anyway.
FIFA, yeah?
Yeah.
Father, I need a loan, bro. I need a loan.
What?
I need a loan.
Yo, Sadiq, I'm drunk. I just avoid my question. Carry
No,
on.
I can't, man. It's a good point. Where's the FIFA at?
Where's the FIFA?
Where is the FIFA Xbox?
KJ, Kazilla, Father, I'll talk to you about FIFA soon, man. But I'll be back. But yeah, Kovačić, Matt said he wasn't good enough today. He was one of the worst players, I think. Or worst. Goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, KJ.
I think there's a candidates for a lot.
I mean, I'll make my point that I kind of mentioned about Ruben and Kova. The way Ruben's playing now is the way we all wanted Kovačić to play, but has never fulfilled to that. Would you, or do you think, KJ? Are you gonna back Kovačić, or what did you think of his performance today?
I think saying never is a bit of a stretch, but I mean, he did have a poor game. He didn't contribute a lot. But I look at it like this, man. When you have so many pairings in the midfield and you're playing consistently on that level, it's kind of hard to always have good games all the time. I mean, we know Kovačić's form, we know his quality. This just wasn't one of his games, and you have to give credit to Brentford as well. They got into their stride, they started dominating the midfield, and then showed in the attack in the second half. So, I mean, we can't really write Kovačić off for just a bad game. It happens to every footballer. But then, like Andrew was saying, build-up play was slow, and that's contributed to a multitude of players. You know, we need high pressing plays, we need high energetic plays. That's why I'm looking forward to when Pulisic comes back, because those are the type of players you need to give you an option in games like this, where the spaces are getting closed down, and you kind of need someone to do something in the midfield, and we don't have that.
Yeah, I mean, the only person that was actually driving and getting past players was Ruben. Ruben was doing that very well. So if you had Ruben and Pulisic doing that, that's dangerous.
Don't get me wrong. As bad as Kovačić was as passing today, he was still effective in breaking up play in the midfield when he was on. Yeah? So that's the point. His passing today was atrocious. It's probably his worst passing game for a very long time that I can think of.
100%.
But he was still there breaking up the play in midfield. And when he went off and we didn't replace him with a Jorginho or a Sal or something like that, we lost and gave up the game. And we gave up the impetus to Brentford. And that's the point. The point is maybe not to have the best, like, the point is always have the best passer, but if they're not the best passer, at least they're in there doing something. Kovačić was. We need.
But I understand why he's taken off, because he had a yellow card as well.
Oh yeah, no, I do. But Matt, my thing was, whatever you think, I would have bought Jorginho on. I wouldn't have. That
was my fault. When I saw Mount come on, I was like, why? We don't need. And as I thought we did. And the problem is, as I thought would happen, he didn't play in a midfield role. He started going up as if he was part of the front three. I was like, why are you doing that? Yeah, exactly. He left the hole.
the press was disjointed because he would press, but the other forwards are not pressing with him. And then going back to the Kovačić point though, but I feel like this happens a lot with him. Like he has a good game, and then he has a bad game. He has a couple of games, but then he has a bad game. And I think sometimes it's passing a lot in a lot of games be off.
And that's always my problem with Kovačić. Like, I see that he has some world-class qualities in him, but he just doesn't show enough. And it's like with Ruben. Obviously, Ruben has only played a couple games. We need to judge it over some more games. But in all of his games, he's turned up. And if we go back to under the Sarri season when he was playing his best, there was rarely a game where he dropped, and he was always consistent. I feel like if Ruben comes back and plays consistently the way he is, I feel he is playing Kovacic's place, and Kovačić then drops further down the pecking order. And I've always thought.
Matt, didn't you think he was trying to be like they was trying to be like each other? Like it's like I thought Kovačić, maybe Tuchel should have said Kovačić, okay, your game today is not going to be about like long passing like that. It's going to be give the ball to Ruben so we can dribble on and whatever and pass the ball forward. But he took more of that, and it was like having two of them in there, and you've already got Kante sort of doing the same thing. So all three of them were progressing the ball, doing the same thing. Where it's like maybe one of them should have gone, or maybe Kovačić should have gone. Do you know what? I'm going to sit a bit, and I'm just going to give it off 5 yards here and there. Do you know what I mean? Instead of like searching for hero ball all the time. Do you know what I mean? Or trying to pass it. And I just felt that was missing. As well as they did recovering all three of them, and they were very good for about 6 until Kovačić went off, like recovering the ball and getting it again. Just thought that they were all trying to do the same thing without it successfully coming off. It's just,
I mean, I think Sonny kind of made a good point. Are we missing that kind of creative player? I'm not saying he's exactly the same type of player, but a Fabregas-like player who's going to create passes from that midfield.
Yes.
I feel we have Jorginho who makes long balls, but still doesn't do it the same. But we have no. That's why always my problem. Sometimes we don't have enough creativity from the midfield in terms of passes.
You know what?
And then we have to rely on the front three and the wing backs. If the wing backs are not playing well, or the front three is not playing well, then we capitulate.
Don't take the chat. I'm not saying we should go get Madison, but I look like Leicester's formation, right? They play like a 3-5-2, but they have like Madison behind those two strikers, and he gets it, and he's the one like to play those decisive passes or those inside those cute passes that will get those chances for the strikers. And I feel like we're missing somebody like that. Like we have the wide players, we have central midfielders, but not really defense splitting passing midfielders. So we definitely miss someone like that.
Agree.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just make a point. Kazilla, I did say at the beginning of what I said, he's only played a couple of games. We need to judge it. I am being a bit objective. I'm not getting ahead of myself. I'm saying that we need
I agree with Casilla right there.
Yeah, but that's what I said. He's only played a couple of games. We need to see how he does in a few more games. I'm not getting ahead of myself. I'm saying the potential. I'm saying if. I'm not saying it will. I'm saying if. But
don't you think don't you think we have a player like that? The other
Ross Barkley?
No, but what I'm saying, I
was about to say Ross Barkley as well.
Like a Fabregas type of player, that the rest of the team knows that, so that then they'll go, okay, well, I know I can get the ball, I know I can make this run. Instead of like the midfield, none of them, all of them know they're not that type of player to thread a ball through like that. So then they're just going to try it themselves. That was great about Fabregas. It was like when he was with Kante or Matic, they knew Fabregas could do that pass, so they would just concentrate more on the defending. I know Matic had a lot of assists and everything when in that season of Conte, but they would just pass. Their job. They know what their job is. I'm going to break up play and I'm going to give it to Fabregas. In this midfield, there's not a player like that where you go, okay, if I'm Kante, I know. You know what? I don't need to do these long bursting runs all the time. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to give it to this guy, and he's going to make that pass. Do you know what I mean? We don't have that. Then all three of them, like today, try and do their own thing, and it just doesn't work. And even if you put a Jorginho in there or a Sal, and possibly a Ross Barkley in there. They're not. There's no one in that midfield who could do, and it's very harsh as well. What I'm trying to get the level up to, like a Fabregas or anything like that. And that's maybe that we've missed that type of player since he's left. And I think that's one we probably need next summer to search for a player like that as well. Because I think once we get a player like that in the midfield, the others will just go, yeah, we'll get the ball to him and we'll just do our defensive bit, and that's it. So,
I do agree with you at that point. I think we need to figure out this balance in the midfield. I think we do at times have too many of the same player, and we need to maybe is someone like a Mendy who can spray them long passes a little bit more, and he is learning off Fabregas at the moment, which is nice to see. Or if it's another player that we can point out. I think if we bring in Declan Rice, I think again he's one of them players that likes to dribble with the ball rather than pass it too much. Yeah. I think again he's
Maybe
another one of them
Pedri,
same players we have.
A mould like a Pedri, like that. A Valverde or something like that. Just that type of player, just passing it here, nice long passes here and there, effective passes. Because it doesn't always have to be like a through ball like that. Just a simple left back passing. Like it didn't happen tonight. Chilwell did a few runs and no one could find him properly. Same on the right as well. No one could pass it properly, and it's very frustrating. Very frustrating.
That's what's missing. You need a player that not only can pass but has great awareness on and off the ball, because you need someone that can plan two moves or two passes ahead. Someone that can spot out. Okay, if I pass to Kante, he's going to spray to Lukaku going up front. Someone that can think ahead of the game and dictate that play in the midfield, and we don't have that type of player. But like Major General Kante said, Ross Barkley I think has the potential to do it, because I remember in his first season he had qualities where his awareness was really, really good, and he has the ability to dribble past the man and give a good pass. I guess it was his final third play that was a bit of a problem, but he does offer somewhat of the type of player we could potentially need in the midfield.
Someone's going to say Billy Gilmore, aren't they? That's what
I was waiting for someone to say that.
I don't know. Did he play today? Because as well as he's getting man of the match with Scotland, he's not getting in the Norwich team some of the games. So it's like, I don't know. Billy
Do you
Gilmore,
guys think Billy Gilmore fits in this team?
I don't know if he does. I don't know. Because you know why? Because
I don't see the hype around him.
But the problem is, it's like, I think people are worried about Jorginho being bullied off the ball. This guy, he needs to put on some muscle. Do you know what I mean? Because he's weak physically. I don't know. I really don't know. It'd be interesting. And if he's good, listen, it's a different player. I know I've seen him do a few passes here and there and everything like that. Maybe. But I don't know if he's in the mould of like a Fabregas or something like that. Do you know what I mean? I know it's very high standards of talking about. But, I can't even think of what players around the world now are like a Fabregas, like a De Bruyne. But you know what I mean? I can't think of many now.
Yeah. They're kind of generational.
They're kind of dying out. Kind of dying out at the moment, man.
But Kazilla kind of made a good point. I know you talk about the passes, Andrew, but I think going to this 3-5-2, we don't know how to play with it. Like this 3-4-3, at least we know where we're going and stuff like that. But this 3-5-2 is just like three flat midfielders that we're not really good at interchanging and the positioning, and so it's like it just goes from side to forward, and we just don't know what to do. You know what I mean?
I don't. That's what I'm. I know three at the back served us well and everything. I just wish we would have experimented more at four at the back.
Yeah, me too.
Just get that extra
because
even,
even when we attack, we look so like disjointed. Like there's like 2-3 guys up there against like they're like 7.
Let me just Daniel, my guy Daniel, and respect and everything. He did get bullied in Premier League. He got bullied away at Crystal Palace in the when we at the first lockdown comeback. He got bullied in that game. That one, so he had to be taken off. But I know that's early in his career, so I will give him slack for that.
I think you're talking about Leicester.
No, 3-2 away at Palace. He started that game and he got taken off and Jorginho came on. But that I give him. I'm not gonna put him down for that. I was one of his first games. So, but mate, listen. At the moment, I'll try anything to have that type of player in my team because I think that this team needs it. That's all. But I really think we should. I don't know, man. I love the three at the back served us well, but I don't know. It sounds like we've lost today, but we won. But we just escaped. So it's one of those. It's a reflective win. You know what I mean? It's like phew, get it over with.
Yeah. What formation do you guys think is our strongest at the moment?
The 3-4-3, but that's because we know it.
That's the thing. That's because we know it. But I don't know if it's our strongest anymore.
I don't know what our strongest formation is. That's the problem now.
I think it's not. I think we don't know our strongest combination of players.
Yeah, I agree. I think eight games in, Tuchel's still trying to experiment what his strongest 11
And the thing is, it's not even that, KJ. It's like he knew we had a hard run of fixtures, so he's like, why change things? That's why I don't get like that Man City change.
Yeah,
it's like, all right, we're playing tough teams at the start. We need to collect as most points as possible. Why experiment now? But I do think like we can, because I'm looking at, say, Man United that play like 4 at the back, right? And they have those 2 midfielders. Those 2 midfielders are not the best in the world. And I feel like our midfielders can do a job in a 2, like a 4-2, you know what I mean? So I don't get, like, even with the addition of Ruben now, like, he definitely can play in like a 2-man pivot midfield.
That's fine. I just, I'll go back today. It's like today they were all trying to do the same thing. They were all progressing the ball, and it needed one of them to sit, to be that sitter. They were all trying to, and they were all coming back and going forward nearly at the same time. It was like that, and it's like I thought, as great as they were recycling ball collecting everything like that, I just think they needed more of a control in midfield, and I don't know that. Well, that's probably the tactics Tuchel wanted, so they're only just following what their coach has told them. But one of those.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, going on to another point, obviously there was a few worries about the ball fraud today, messing up the game, but there was a potential there was a potential penalty that could have gone against us that wasn't given. Obviously it was given offside, but I think when you look at the photos, it was quite disputed whether it was offside or not. Andrew, I'll start with you.
Yeah, sorry, Matt. Go on.
I'll start with you. Taking out the offside part, did you think that was a penalty? Or did we get away with it a little bit?
Oh, I've got 2 thoughts on this. Thought it wasn't. I didn't think what he did was intentional, but sometimes that doesn't matter. That's the problem with action replay. Action replay makes it look worse than it actually probably was. I think we were probably lucky, just about lucky to escape that. But they were on about that Taylor was going to give it, but then they gave the offside. So it was like, but it was nice. It was nice to hear other fans complain about Anthony Taylor because the Brentford fans were going off on him.
I mean, I don't actually think he did.
I didn't think
I
didn't think he had a bad game. I didn't think he had a bad game.
There was a few things.
I think he knew about that petition going around, so he was like, "Yeah."
It was that challenge that Ruben made, and the Brentford fans are going crazy. The one where he absolutely got bodied that guy, and it was so funny. I love watching Ruben body. I really want someone to make like a compilation video of just Ruben just bodying people. Because it would be great.
Because he wasn't tall. He wasn't as tall as Ruben. That's why he got injured.
Yeah.
But
I thought generally he had a good game. I mean, Xavi, what did you think of that penalty? Did you think it was a possible penalty, or do you think it was not really one.
It's debatable because I can understand if it was a drag back, then it could be a penalty. But I think his arm hit him. Like, you know when your arm swings? His arm just hit him. So, yeah.
Yeah, I do think he made a bit of the most of it as well. It weren't the biggest contacts in the world. I think he did go down a bit too much, and sometimes that can not work your way in the referee's eyes. KJ, what did you think of the decision?
I've seen things like that being given, but I definitely do think there was theatrics about it. Yeah, I mean, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. I mean, in real time, it definitely did look like a penalty to me. I guess from different angles, if you looking at different perspectives, you can see that it probably wasn't as bad as it was made out to be. But like I said, I've seen things like that being given, easily. So, yeah, in my opinion, I'm 50-50 on it. Like I could see how it is a penalty, but at the same time, I could see it was played up a lot.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, when I looked at it, because when it first happened, I thought it was a penalty. I straight away looked at Anthony Taylor, and he hesitated and looked to the linesman. So I think if the linesman didn't flag it offside, I think he was considering giving the penalty. I think it was only because the linesman flagged it for offside that he didn't give it. So it was one of them things. I mean, Alfred, are you there still?
Yes.
Yeah. What did you think about the penalty? Did you think it was a penalty, or do you think it was a bit soft?
Sorry, I just wanted to ask: are you talking about the incident with the handball, when he bounced off Chalobah's? It looked like he bounced off Chalobah's arm.
No, it was the one where Chalobah kind of flicked his arm and it hit Tony. Tony got the right side of Chalobah, and Chalobah kind of flicked his arm and it kind of hit Tony, and then Tony went down like he got shot, and then it got pulled back for offside in the end.
Oh yes. No, I don't think so. A bit theatrical for me, and lucky that it wasn't given, because the way that our luck looked like it was starting to go towards the end of the game, yeah, we might have ended up losing if that penalty was given. If it went in, and the way we were getting put under pressure, we might not have had as much confidence at 1-1 as we did, because we still had the lead, So, yeah, I'm very happy that wasn't given.
Definitely. I mean, it was one that could have gone either way. I mean, as soon as I saw it, I just thought that's Anthony Taylor tax coming in, but luckily he did a competent job today. I think it was one of his only times he's been competent, but we'll give the board for all the break tonight. We'll let him. He can have a good night's sleep, knowing that he had a good game. Should we get into a little bit of player ratings before we finish this up? Because obviously, I think there's a few players that I assume will be quite contrasting between us and create a bit of discussion. We'll start off with, obviously, who I assume will be man of the match, Edouard Mendy. Alfred, I'll start with you. What was your rating for Mendy?
Mate, it's usually very hard to give this rating, but for me, it's a 10, son.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely incredible, man. He made more saves in this one game than I think some keepers might make of that quality in the whole season. That's phenomenal stuff. I couldn't believe my eyes. Yeah, definitely a 10.
Definitely. I mean, Andrew, I know you. I think you said a 10 before, didn't you?
Yeah, it has to be, because he's the main reason we've got anything from this game. Like, even a point, I would have given him a 10, because he just pulled off some. Yeah, he was just there. He bailed us out. Last 30 minutes, it was basically Brentford against Mendy. The last 30 minutes, he was just outstanding. I was worried when he went down, before Reece James came on. And I was going to
that was quite a hefty blow he took as well.
Well,
I looked at that and thought, was like, oh no, Kepa coming on. Because I know Kepa's played well this season, but it would be typical. Under that pressure, my heart rate was already skyrocketed. So Kepa coming on would have just. I mean, if any Chelsea fan has heart conditions, I feel sorry for them because I don't think
they suffered them in the last 30 minutes. Everyone.
I actually do.
Oh, Alfred, I feel sorry for you, mate.
Yes, I had open heart surgery at 4 years old.
Good Lord.
I get startled very easily. Like anybody who knows me knows not to come up behind me and do any pranks where they scare me because I can react very badly because of that. I'm very sensitive to it. So yeah, that did definitely not do me any favors that game.
Alfred, at times you just have to turn it off and just I mean, I got to a point where I was watching it and my dog decided to sit on the controller and it completely switched off. I was like, no, don't do this, dude. Don't do this thing. Panicked so much because I think it was on a corner as well, and I was like, oh no, Brentford are these corners. But I mean, Xavi, do you agree with a 10 out of 10 rating?
Yeah, 10. I'll even go 11.
I was going to give him. I can hear you. I was going to give him 11 as well. But yeah, I mean,
man, 11. Because it's that one extra point for saving us, like that game, like you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you only get an 11 if you do things that are just not physically human. And today, he just did things that was out of this world. I mean, KJ. Would you agree with a 10, or are you going to be one of the guys that gives him a 9 or an 8?
9. This guy gets a 20.5. That save was out of this. Guys, that was God assisting him. I don't care a damn what anyone says. That is save of the year for me. No lie.
Who was it that made? Who was it that did the overhead kick?
Which save? I don't know.
I don't know their name.
What are overhead kicks? Sometimes you get them overhead kicks that are just not really that powerful, but that one was absolutely perfect. You couldn't have hit that overhead any better.
He pushed it onto the bar.
Mendy
pushed it onto the bar.
Oh, fantastic.
And the thing about those is like you gotta react. You don't know where it's going, so you gotta react late to where it's going.
I mean, it's like with Mendy, it's like Star Wars. Czech was the master, and Mendy is the apprentice. And I think Mendy might be taking over that Jedi Master role right now. Yeah. Czech has done absolute wonders. And I mean, when Mendy retires, Czech, just go pick next keeper because I trust you.
I told you now. Go to Rennes. Who's in their youth development or a 20-year-old keeper? Put a down payment on them now. Put a down payment on them now, because whatever they're doing at Rennes, I know it's like years ago, but they have got two goalkeepers that are going to go down in folklore at Chelsea, especially. But I would just whoever's doing now, put a down payment on them now, or whoever Czech wants. Whoever Czech wants to sign as a goalkeeper. You know what? Isn't it fascinating? Trust the goalkeeper to pick a goalkeeper. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, they know what they're looking for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. I remember. I think it was the same with Van der Sar. I remember when apparently Van der Sar picked out Onana originally, and a lot of people were saying, "Oh, this guy is not going to be any good." And obviously, I know he had this drug problem, and his career's a bit messed up. But he was fantastic before, and he had the same effect. So I think when it comes to goalkeepers, just let the goalkeeper coach or someone, if you got a director that is a goalkeeper, let them pick the goalkeeper because they know what they're talking about.
Yeah, too right.
But yeah, I mean, we'll move on to the rest of the team. Malang Sarr, Alfred, what would you give Malang Sarr for his Premier League debut as well?
Well, first of all, I wanna ask who was, because I can't remember who was the defender. I'm pretty sure it was one of our defenders right at the start of the game. He gave away possession, and we almost copped like we almost copped one like a minute into the game. Does anyone remember who that was?
I don't remember the incident. I don't remember.
I remember the incident, but I don't know. I think it was I think it was the one with Chalobah or Sarr. I don't remember which one. I know Sarr did give it one ball away later in the second half, but apart from that, I don't know.
Okay, because I was gonna take off a point or two for that because that really annoyed me, but I don't know who it was. So, yeah, look, I don't know what to say about the defenders because they did very well at the end of the day to get away with to help us get away with a draw, right? So they kept a clean sheet, but at the same time, they were very, very lucky. So I really don't know what to say. I'd probably give them all a 5.
Oh, I mean, I think that's a bit hard. I mean,
just because it was 50. Well, they were. All right, I guess it was down to the whole team that we were playing so badly in the second half, not just them. So maybe I am.
I think it's like I remember under Lampard when we struggled. We kept constantly struggling with the midfield, and it was them that every defender we had, they got so many chances given against them that they'd forget put in impossible positions. And I think at times in that second half, because we lost control of the midfield, they were getting put in impossible positions. But even then, they were getting out of most of them. I think it was only a couple of times that we really got done by in terms of defensive side of it. And Andrew, what would you give Malangsar?
I give him a. You know, I actually give him. This might sound strange. The circumstances, everything, and I thought he was good for like first 60 minutes, 65 minutes, maybe even 70 minutes. I give him a 7. I give him a 7 because you know what? I didn't even think about him coming into the game today at all. I don't think any Chelsea fan thought about him coming into the game. I didn't even think about him even being on the bench. I forgot we had him during the week. Listen, I thought he did well. I thought he covered as well. You know, I thought he dealt with Ivan Toney well as well. You know, on a few occasions. So I give him a 7. The thing at the end, that for me, that's not a defender issue. That's a midfield issue. Do you know what I mean? When we got hammered at the end, you know, when we're holding on, we couldn't do anything in the field. So he gets a 7 for me.
Yeah, Xavi, what would you give him?
Yeah, 7 for me as well. Like considering that's his first game, he didn't really do too much wrong. As you guys are saying, no defender in the world can take like constant pressure like that, and it's got to give at some point. But for them to end up be thrown in a match like this, where their best asset is those 2 strikers, Ivan Toney, and don't sleep on Mbeumo. He's a good little crafty player, and he has some good finishing on him. His movement is good. Yeah, his movement is very good. So I give him a 7.
Yeah, definitely. KJ, what would you give him?
This was his debut game, right? In the league.
Yeah, Premier League debut. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Black Lives Matter. I give him an 8. That's it.
I mean, I would go in the middle of all of you guys. I would say 7.5. I think, particularly because it's his Premier League debut and there's a lot of spotlight on him. A lot of people on Twitter were having a massive go at him, saying, "Oh, why is he playing Tuchel?" I heard even people say Tuchel out if we lose this match because I saw. But you know, that's just Chelsea fans for you. But I think he done very well. I think he got put in situations which not many defenders would be able to cope well with. And I think 8 times out of 10 he coped with them quite well. So. I would give him a 7.5. So overall, we'll give him a 7 because most people gave him a 7. But he had a good game. Well done, Christensen. Alfred, would you give him a 5 as you said, as well?
Yeah, I'll probably that second half, man. Just I know Again, I'm conflicted. Oh man, yeah, I'll stick with that.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew, what would you give Christensen?
I give him a 7.5 because he was. I thought he was actually leading the back 3 pretty well, but then of course what happened in the last 20 minutes or so, he was like the other defenders had to be on high alert, trying to stick out a leg everywhere. couldn't really like be there to like control the guys, just try and clear it, whatever his panic station. So 7.5, and you know what's great about Christensen, all bullshit AC Hyver, aside, this is now becoming a regular thing where he's getting at least minimum of a 7 now in every game that he plays. It's either 7 or above, and people forget this. He is our first graduate since John Terry. Okay, people forget that he is the first successful graduate since John Terry from the Chelsea Academy. Okay, and
was it him or Ruben that started first?
It was him, and it was him consistently.
Consistently.
Yeah.
I think Ruben got him first, but
Ruben might have appeared first, but he's been constant.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I'll give you that.
I hope now he just signs this new contract. That's all. Just get it.
I think it is basically done.
Just announce it now. Just announce it.
I think Chelsea are just waiting for the right time to announce it. I think what they're waiting on is Chelsea to lose a silly game like Norwich or something like that, and then they'll announce it. They'll announce it to get the fans a bit.
Just announce it now. Just announce it now, Matt. After that heart attack game against Brentford, just announce it now, please.
Yeah. I mean, Javi, what would you give Christensen rating?
I wouldn't go that high. I would go with 7. Because I kind of expect now a more mature performance. Like, don't get me wrong, he did amazing. I think not amazing, but he did good. I just think we missed that calmness of that central player, just passing it out from the back like Thiago Silva gives. But for what he was dealt with, he did well. So I give him 7.
Yeah, fair enough. And KJ, what would you give him?
I agree with Javi. I'll go for 7. But yeah, I mean, I thought he was defensively solid, man. Like I said, he's one player that he doesn't really have an off game, Yeah, man, he's just consistent with it. Nothing really more to add. Give him a 7.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I would give him. I feel like I'm going to feel a bit harsh saying this, but I'm going to give him a 6.5. I don't think he was as good as the other two. I think he could have. He did okay. I'm not saying he did bad, but I just don't think he was as good as the other two. So I will give him a 6.5. But again, with all your guys' ratings, I think that averages it out to a 7 again. So I mean, that's a fair rating for him as well. Alfred, for Chalobah, would you give again a 5, like you said?
No, Chalobah actually gets a bit higher because he had a magnificent goal line clearance at one point towards the end of the game that saved our ass massively. So I probably give him a 6.5.
Fair enough. I mean, that's fair rating. Andrew, would you give him? What would you give him?
I give him a 7.5 again for the clearance off the line, and I thought he had a good game. I thought he had a good game up until the 70th minute, and then we were all, he played his part as well. But yes, 7.5 for me for a clearance off the line, especially.
And Xavi, would you agree, or would you give another rating?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I
KJ,
said to you that I was hoping you played it off the screen.
Huh?
Sorry, who are you rating?
Chalobah. That's what we're rating.
Oh, Chalobah. Damn. Give him a 7 as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to bump it up to a 7.5. I thought he played really well. I think my only criticism with him is that when it got to the point where we were starting to struggle a little bit, I felt he was getting into a physical battle with Tony. I think he didn't need to. I think Tony was kind of trying to force him into that. And I think, again, he's a little bit of an inexperienced kind of, he went into that physical battle when he probably didn't need to. And that could have, I think that's what kind of resulted into the penalty at the end, because there was a few kind of tasty challenges and battles between the two. I just think he maybe didn't need to get involved in that. But again, I'll give him a 7.5 because I think he had the clearance off the line, so that is a big moment in the game to save us. So I think overall that is about a 7.5, so we'll give him that. We'll go with the goal scorer. Ben Chilwell. Alfred, what would you give goal scorer Ben Chilwell?
Oh, because he won us the game, I'm gonna give him some extra points. I'll give him a 7.5.
Fair enough. Andrew, what would you give Chilwell?
Because he scored and contributed to the win. I'm actually going to give him a 7. I thought, apart from the goal, I thought it was a pretty average to slightly less good performance. I thought his corners weren't very good and his crossing wasn't very good today. Supporting runs were very good and he should have been found more, but I give him a 7 because it was a fantastic goal. So 7 for me.
Fair play.
Wait, Jack Harnell's a Chelsea fan?
Huh?
Jack Harnell?
Javi, what would you give him?
Who's this? Chile?
Yeah, Chile.
I think his performance was a 6.5 just because he scored the goal. 7.
Fair enough. KJ, would you agree?
I agree, but I give him a 7.5, possibly 8. Definitely better than Alonso. Get Alonso out. And yeah, we move.
Alonso out.
Sadiq is in a bit of the mud right now, so we'll leave him.
Bro, I don't know why he backs Alonso.
Oh man, Kepa, Emerson, Alonso. I think he just likes the underdog. Barkley.
No, he likes lost causes.
Next thing you know, we start backing Danny Drinkwater's loan at Reading.
Yeah, Bakayoko. We want Bakayoko back.
Oh God. But yeah, I mean, for me, I would give him a 7.5 just purely because of the goal. I think if it wasn't for the goal, I'd give him a 6.5. I think he did well in terms of his defensiveness for the majority of the game. I just think, and some of his dribbles were very good. I think there was that dribbling run he made in the second half, and then he went past it out to Lukaku, and then Lukaku couldn't get it back into Werner. But yeah, I think his passing was just a bit off. Even in that one, I felt like maybe Werner could have been the better option to Lukaku, but I didn't think the Lukaku option was bad either. But yeah, his passing and crossing and his corners were just a bit off today. It was weird, especially with the free kicks as well. I think Lukaku took a free kick, and I was like, "Why is he taking a free kick?" And then I looked at the pitch and I thought, actually, I don't know who takes a free kick on the pitch.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was kind of looking. I was like, actually, if I'm going to get anyone to take a free kick, I'm not being biased, but Ruben scored a few. So I thought Ruben was the only one I was looking at. I thought I'd be confident with him, but none of everyone else. I was like, I don't know. Like Chilwell took one at one point. I think Kovačić took one, and Lukaku took one. At the time,
we had no free kick taker.
Oh, we didn't have Alonso on the pitch, so that's why.
But even Chilwell could have took that, no?
Yeah, I mean, well, the way his corners were, I wouldn't put him on free kicks either. But yeah, I mean, we'll go on to the other side. Azpilicueta. Alfred, what would you give Azpi?
Yeah, probably a 6.
Hello.
Fair enough.
Hello, who was that?
Hello.
Is that Farmer?
Yeah.
Farmer, how you doing?
What? We're in the middle of something, Farmer. We're in the middle of something.
Are you guys doing ringing something?
Yeah.
Whose player is it now?
Wait your turn.
Azpi.
Wait your turn.
Oh, okay. Go on, Andrew.
We'll tell you when we get to Bruno.
Azpi, easily our worst defender today. 5.
Easily.
5. And didn't do anything when he went upfield either. Thought probably, do you know what? I'm trying to recollect. It's an odd thing. I think this may be one of his worst games ever for us. And you know how consistent he usually is. But defence, I thought even defending, I thought he was all over the place today. I didn't think he helped out at all. So 5 for me. Easily our worst defender.
Fair enough. I mean, Javi, what would you give him?
Yeah, 5. He's atrocious.
Yeah, fair enough. KJ, what would you give him?
I'm not gonna be as harsh, just purely considering the amount of pressure that was put on our defense, more especially the second half. So, I mean, there's no excuse. He had a lot of misplaced passes going on. I don't know what was happening with his link-up play. It became a bit weird at times, but I don't want to be too critical of him. So I'll be devil's advocate now. I'll give him a 6.5.
Fair enough. Father, first of all, one question before we get into the rating. On a scale of 1 to 10, how mashed are you? Is he gone?
So mashed he fell asleep.
Christ's sake.
This guy.
He's waiting for Werner.
Father, you there? No, he's gone. Anyway, for me, I'm gonna be. This is being nice to Aspi. I would give him a 5 out of 10 because, I mean, today, I think he must have borrowed Harry Potter's cloak of invisibility because he was invisible today, completely. And that's not like him. Normally, he does provide, even if he's not having a great game, he does put in effort and provide something. But today, he was just completely invisible. I mean, 5. I wouldn't normally give that rating for such performance, but because it's Aspi, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, so I give him a 5. Father, you there at all? No, he's gone. Alfred, we'll go into one of the central midfielders. We'll start with Kovačić.
Kovačić, definitely not his best game today. It's probably good that he came off. 4.
4?
Oh, wow.
Dear Lord.
KJ, we'll get to your rating in a second. Andrew, what would you give him?
I'll give him 5.5. I thought, like I said, I thought he was great at breaking up play and that, but his passing today is absolutely atrocious. Absolutely, he's the worst. I thought he's the worst passer on that pitch, and he's spoiled potential chances for us in that game. 5.5.
Yeah, I mean, Xavi, what would you give him? Would you be that harsh, or would you give him a bit of a better rating?
I'll give him a standard 6.
Fair enough. I mean, KJ, your boy's not really getting that much of a good rating. What you get? Try and defend him for me. What would you give him?
There's some racism at play here, but I just look at it like this, right? When Havertz came on, that was a 4. That was a big 4, probably a 3. So comparing both the players and what they did, I'll say this: the only critique I really do have of him was just his passing. It was unnatural of him. Usually he's got pinpoint accuracy. He just knows how to pick out a pass. He's very good in awareness when it comes to just the run of play, and it wasn't his best. But other than that, I mean, defensively, it was pretty good, man. He was, especially in the opening few minutes of the game, he was stopping play rather well. It dipped a bit, but then, like I say, most players in the team are at fault for that. So I'm not gonna look at him and say he was one of not. He definitely was one of our worst, but I don't think he was the worst. So that being said, I'm gonna be biased and give him a 7.
Fair enough. I mean, I would give him. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit too high. I mean, I would give him a 5.5. I think he did okay on the off the ball work, but in my opinion, I think he just wasn't. Again, his passing was off. He just wasn't showing enough generally in the game. And that's what I think is sometimes a general problem with Kovačić. I find sometimes he just doesn't provide nowhere near enough that I want to see. So I would give him a 5.5. So it's just a little bit above Aspi, but I think he needed to improve. I think out of the wingers, at the midfielders, I think he was one of the worst. Alfred, I'll go to you on Kante.
Kante, yeah, look, it's so hard for me because it was a game really of two halves, so it's very hard for me to judge. But yeah, still, Kante is Kante. He always puts his ass on the line and gives his best. So I'll give him a 6.
Fair enough. Andrew, what would you give?
Yeah,
Kante?
I agree. A 6. Yeah, no, he wasn't that. It wasn't his best influential game, I thought. He did a few nice things, but slowly phased out. Did some very important clearances at the end, mind you. And he just booted it out of defence. Not even worrying about passing it. I think a 6. I think a 6 is fair.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, Javi, what would you give him?
A 6.
Fair play. AJ, what would you give him?
Yeah, I'll give him a 6. I'll give him a 6.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I would give him. It's hard with Kante. I don't think he did too much. But when he did do something good was in the build up for the goal. I think his drive down the right, and then he cut back and gave it to Azpi. I thought that was really good from him, and that kind of kick-started the attack. I think 6 is probably a fair rating for Kante. I think probably needs some improvement, but we know he has come back from the injury, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and hopefully he can improve on his performance next time out. We'll come to my favourite man himself, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Alfred, please don't give him too much of a harsh rating, but the pressure's on. But what is his rating?
I actually don't plan to, because I'm really glad that he played. Like before the Manchester City game, not too long ago, I thought that he, I wasn't extremely keen on seeing him play just because of some of the other players that we have, but he came on in that game and he went on some amazing runs. He was one of the best players in that game, and ever since I wanted him to keep playing, and he got another chance today, and I reckon he did all right. He did some nice stuff for me. I'm going to give him I'll give him a 6 as well.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't give it that low, but there you go. Andrew,
go on.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say 7, but again, it's just that end part of the game where just everybody was so disgustingly poor. It's but so go on to the next person.
Yeah, Andrew, what would you give Ruben Loftus-Cheek? I hope you're going to be less harsh.
I give him 6.5. As great as I thought he was dribbling and everything like that, he still falls under the same thing as a lack of a through ball, lack of a final pass, that sort of thing. I thought he fell under that as well. And also, like I said, I agree with Alfred, and probably takes a shine off the 7 because of his impact on the game was lessened by about 65, 70 minutes on. So he couldn't really. I don't even remember him actually doing and he probably did, but he didn't stand out like any blocks or any defensive work or something like that. And I know he probably did, but I just thought for the last 25 minutes of that game, he was taken out, and it sort of takes the shine off of what would have been a 7 if we'd actually done the correct substitutes. Do you know what I mean? So I want him to. I know he can dribble, and I know he can get out of them. I know fantastic the way he sold some of these Brentford players, and he went, sold them a few dummies and stuff like that. I just want him now. If you notice, Matt, he has a problem now. He sometimes dribbles with his head down as well. If you notice, sometimes during this game, he dribbled with his head down a bit. I just want him to look up and start finding the passes now, because he's got it now. But 6.5, but that's because of he was impacted by our subs. So.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, before we get to Javi's rating, guys, we're at 92 likes. That is not good enough. We just beat Brentford 1-0 after a bunch of
Liverpool
great
didn't.
Liverpool didn't. We did. We're top of the league, and we've only got 92 likes. What is going on? Come on, get us to at least 100, and I want you to push it to 125 before the end of the stream. So please get down there, smash the like button. Easy to do. Smash the like button for this great panel. Andrew, Alfred, Javi, KJ, Sadiq when he was here. Even Ads came on. Father come on when he's mashed. It's always nice to see Father mash. So smash the like button. Javi, your rating.
7.5.
Fair enough. I mean, that is a good rating. Much better than the other two, but just saying. KJ.
You know what else? Look, I gotta say this. He's such an elegant player, man. He's so good to watch. I was player camming him today, and the guy he knows how to play football. I can't believe we haven't utilized him more. Now that I think about it, but we understand why. If he can remain fit, he's going to be such a star player for this team, and I can't wait for him to link up with Chris. It's going to be amazing. That being said, also as well, guys, he's a brick wall, man. He's freakishly strong. Every player that comes at him, he's not moving for anyone, which is crazy. But yeah, saying that, I'll give him a 7.5, man. 7.5, maybe an 8, but that self-capitulation at the end, kind of lowered it a bit for me. But 7.5.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know me. I'm a little bit biased for this rating, so I'll give my rating, but I understand if you guys think I'm being a bit biased, but I do think he was the best outfield player on the pitch tonight overall. I think everyone dropped for that last bit, so I'm not going to give that too much as a downgrade for the rating. So I'm going to give it 8, and I'm going to push it. That means the average pushes up to a 7.5. But Andrew, I'm a bit biased, so that's just me being a bit high.
I know. I just.
I'm a bit of a bias. I'm not like other guys who support Mason Mount and that who are just not.
You get credit. Yeah, you get credit for openly saying you're biased. That's fine.
But then, like a 6 is low, like. So
yeah, I was gonna say Alfred a 6.
Alfred's ambitious. That's all. I mean, his ratings. I mean.
Fair play. It wasn't the best performance, so we got to be vicious at some point. So
yeah.
Who else we got? Oh, Werner. I'm expecting Father to just randomly pop in now. Alfred, what would you give Werner?
Yeah, I would have been interested in Father's rating actually. Look, in the first half, I think he, when we had the opportunity, I think he gave it a good go, but he didn't didn't get any assists or goals today. So his effort, I guess, will end with a 5.5.
Wow.
Christ.
Oh, that's a bit harsh.
Yeah, I mean I would say it's a bit hard, but I mean to be fair, you're keeping harsh with all the ratings, so that's fair.
I love Timo, so I don't want to big him up too much and start doing that too much if he's not scoring and or assisting. He didn't in this game, but he has in his last few games for us. His last couple of starts, he scored, so which is good.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I mean, Andrew, what would you give? No, I know you usually rate him in terms of you expect him not to score. So obviously he didn't score today, but what would you give him?
I give him a 6. I thought it was an average Werner performance. good runs. I thought it was good for the first 15, 20 minutes. Poor decision making. Poor decision making again from Werner. Cost Lukaku an assist when he should have scored in the first half when Lukaku set, or don't think Lukaku sent up, but it's sort of like, you know, that one in the first half where he sort of hit it high and he was running onto it, the edge of the box. He should have scored, really. So 6 for me. I thought it was a typical Werner performance, if I'm being honest.
Fair enough. I mean, Javi, what would you give Werner?
6.
Fair enough. KJ, would you give him a bit higher, or would you say around the same rating?
6. It was average performance. Nothing more to be said. 6.
Fair enough. I mean, I will give a little bit higher. I'll give him a 6.5. I think he did well with some of his runs, but I do think I was more to improve on, so I can understand that a 6 rating. But I'd give him a 6.5. But obviously, we've got an average rating of 6, so that's what we'll give him. Finally, the final starting player, Romelu Lukaku. What would you guys give him? Start with Alfred.
Oh, this it's a bit tough for me. You know, he got caught offside a couple of times, which really annoyed me because you know, I thought this was a team where we could have really done with killing off or trying to kill off the game as soon as possible, as we saw at the end, and we almost paid for not doing that. But yeah, at the same time, I feel like he wasn't given too much assistance. You know, he didn't get too many opportunities. So I don't know if I can be too harsh, but yeah, I still think I got to give him a 5.
I apologise, guys, if you can hear some fireworks, some idiots lighting fireworks off on the 16th of October. It's a bit of a weird time to let off fireworks, but there you go.
Weekend, though,
but anyway, Andrew, what would you give Lukaku?
I'm going to stand like games like this. I'm going to give Lukaku always a 6 because, you know, he is starving, bro. He is absolutely starving. These guys are not finding him or trying to find him, and when they do, they pass it too late, like that, or you know, he sets someone up and they don't finish or something like that. So for me, until he actually has a game where I can go, you should have done better, he's always going to get an average 6 for me if he doesn't score, because he's making the runs. He's saying he's getting, you know, put me there, put me here, put me there, cross it in, which they're not doing amazingly. But yeah, he gets a standard average 6 for me.
Yeah, fair enough. Javi, what would you say?
6.
Fair enough. KJ, would you agree with 6, or would you have a different rating?
5.5.
Ooh. I think that's a little bit. I mean, I would go over 6. I just think. I mean, as Andrew politely said, he's starving. He's like Oliver. He's like, please, sir, can I have some more? Because he's not getting any service whatsoever. He's starving for that service. And I think you can only do so much, especially when you're playing against a back three. There's not too much space to roam in, and there was just so many times that I saw him make a run and the pass wasn't made, and it's just like when I see you putting in the effort for them runs, I've got to give you at least that, just a bit above average rating, because you're trying, but just other people are not giving you the balls, and it's getting to the point where these same wingers or types of wingers that we've had have failed for Lukaku, have failed for Werner, and arguably failed for Morata as well. we're getting to the point where strikers are constantly failing at this club, sometimes we've got to look at, is it the striker or is it, because we were complaining about Werner, that Werner's runs and balls weren't being tracked either. And even to a point, I heard some people in the Morata season that Morata wasn't getting some of the balls that he was coming after. Obviously, Morata's a lot less because Morata had his own troubles. But if we're not feeding the striker,
balls crossed in. At least you got balls crossed in.
Exactly. But if we're not feeding the striker, then the striker can only do so much. We'll quickly go through the substitute ratings. Mason Mount. Alfred, what did you give Mason Mount?
Well, he didn't really do much, did he? I mean, apart from his apart from when the camera was on him as he was coming off the bench, I don't think I saw him again.
No, he's right. He's right.
So I don't even know what to say, to be honest. 4.
Fair enough. Andrew, what would you give him?
I'll give him a standard 5. He's taken out the game, and all the subs reminded me of a pro clubs player who's not very good. You know, when he's walking all over the pitch, and they're just taking out the game completely.
You mean Sadiq on pro clubs?
Like Sadiq, yeah, something like that.
I mean, Sadiq, what would you give Mason Mount?
Just quickly, I'm influential on pro clubs. Andrew, we'll give a visit to Flawless soon.
Hey, we're going for 5 titles in a row tonight, so you know what I mean. So,
what, Division 1?
We're in Division 5 already. After like,
that's calm. After Division 4, you'll struggle. Don't worry about that.
Hey,
but when I bring my team together,
sure,
we'll see the real business. And yeah, apologies, man. I've still got family downstairs. But Mason Mount. Let's have it right. He came on.
What's good with that? Let's have it right.
He's done. Sadiq's mentioned he came on. That was it. He just came
that's
on.
it. I can't say anything. I can't say anything.
He's just thinking of his nice PR answer. That's what he's thinking of.
Listen, let's have it right, yeah? There is no one on this team that can provide minerals every game, week in, week out. So we have to be, cautious.
As soon as I hear the word minerals, the argument just goes, it's done.
Yeah.
No, listen, let's have it right properly. Like Mason Mount obviously came on.
Let's have you say your rating, bro.
Yeah.
Just say your rating.
I need to go as well.
You got an appearance fee. That's what you got tonight.
Yeah, we've still got 2 players to go for it.
4.75.
Oh, for God's sake. Javi, what's your rating?
I'll give him a 5.
Come on, let's have it right.
KJ?
5.
Huh? He was better than Kovačić.
Wait, we gave Kovačić a 4? I didn't give Kovačić a 4.
Right.
I'm going to be harsh on Mason, man. I think he can't come on and just run around like a headless chicken. So 4.5.
That is racist. That is racist.
That's facts. He did come on.
That's facts.
It's facts. He ran about like he was given, like, you know what he reminded me of? He reminded me of like it's a charity match and a fan had paid a lot of money to play in the team.
To be fair to him, though,
they just told him just to run about. You know what I mean?
We was in a game where it's like
he was totally taken out of it. His what he does best, pressing. They totally took it out. Took it out.
Sorry, Andrew. Just sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Did you not see Marlon Sarr's stats?
No,
bro.
No.
He had the most clearances, 10, most interceptions, 6, 3 out of 4 ground duels, 1, successful tackles, 3 out of 3, passing accuracy, 86.2%. Nice. He didn't put a foot wrong today. Brilliant performance.
And he's tiny.
Come on, who needs Rudiger? Who needs Rudiger? Let him go, man. We don't need to
watch him.
Relax yourself.
The new hive is coming, people. The new hive is coming. I repeat, we were just discussing. Done. It's not MA. It's MS. Yeah. Let's do this. Right. Let's have it right.
Let's not do that. You might get
Nah, I agree.
Don't do that.
Yo, everyone watching, I'm
You
joking.
might get
I'm
someone
actually
wants
joking.
attention.
I mean,
Think
we
you're
were
something
discussing
else.
because obviously we know you go after. We know you support every failed player: Kepa, Alonso,
Oi.
Emerson.
So what?
Ross
He's like the
Barkley.
Drake curse.
So hang on,
He's
hang
like
on,
the
hang on.
Drake curse, bro.
Kepa didn't win FIFA Cup for us.
We were just saying that is the Drinkwater revival going to be your next hive?
You got the Drake curse, bro.
Oh, listen, Loftus-Cheek came back. Anything can happen.
Hey,
at Chelsea.
hey, yeah, but
No,
Loftus-
you can't.
Loftus-
Drinkwater's
Bro.
contract ends.
Do not compare Drinkwater and Loftus-Cheek.
My friend Loftus-Cheek has won Premier League. He's played a very, very important part in the Premier League. We have to respect that.
Yes, I know Loftus-Cheek has won the Premier League.
Got
Well done.
2 minutes.
Loftus-Cheek hasn't been in that squad. You know, he's won the title, but he hasn't actually played a part in any of it. Whilst Drinkwater was world class with Kante.
Oh, here we go. Anyone can look world class next to Kante.
Well, certainly not Kovačić or Jorginho right now.
What?
Jorginho weren't even on the pitch, so
I'm saying
Guys,
in
I'm
general.
about to. I'm gonna. Wait, are we doing two short ratings?
I mean,
No.
He smokes. Ben him.
yeah, I mean, Reece James barely even played. Havertz barely even played, so we can just give them fives.
Five.
So yeah, Tuchel
And,
will be the rating. I'd be interested to hear. Alfred, what would you give Tuchel's rating for this game?
Well, look, what are we judging overall? Are we? Is it the
Subs, tactics, on the line,
Subs, tactics,
shouting,
Shouting.
Lampard vibes,
subs, tactics, and lineup?
Crossing, inshallah.
The whole game, Alfred, like we do the players. The whole game, like we do the players.
Passion.
Yeah, fair enough. Look, we didn't look. We started off really well. That the second half was quite good. Just couldn't score as many goals as I'm sure we would have liked. But we played very well. We didn't lose. I think the team that he picked was, under the circumstances, fair enough. I was very happy to see Ruben given another go. As I said, I was very happy with Sarr's first performance. I know I gave him a bit of a harsher rating because of that last 20 minutes of the game, but yeah, I think he did all right. So look, we didn't lose. So I'm gonna say 7.
Fair enough. Andrew, what would you give Tuchel?
6.5. Got the subs all wrong. Conceded midfield. Yeah, and we lucky he's got Mendy in goal. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Sadiq, what would you say?
It's tough, man, because I want to agree with Andrew, but then
you'd be right.
We've won the game, so to win the game, it's a bit difficult to give him that rating. If you know what I mean. If it was a draw or loss, then I kind of get it. But
6.5 is still above average, by the way.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Because basically, you know how we went on about Hudson-Odoi yesterday, the debate and his assist, but he didn't get it. It's like saying Brentford should have scored 7, but they didn't score. So
but it's a bit different when you're rating managers.
No, it can't be different. It's the same concept.
No, but it's a manager and player. It's completely different.
No, but he got it tactically wrong.
But you put him down on that. But you look at starting lineup. Was it correct? Subs. Yeah,
let's
so
have it right.
You give it as it is. I mean, just because a team wins out of individual performances doesn't affect the manager's rating, because that's individual performances.
That's unfair. That should be the same concept with Hudson-Odoi. He got the assist.
No,
the
but
ref choice shouldn't affect that. That's basically the same thing.
No, but that's different. That's just something
That's the same thing.
Oh no, let's not do it.
We'll be in
Andrew.
Just give the rating.
Was that the same thing? I proved Matt wrong. Was that
Now we just give the rating and move.
Just get the rating.
Wallahi, Jav, you're meant to be my side. Jav, you're meant to be my side.
Bro, we've been doing this for dumb. You've been gone and missing action. We've been, what is it, 2 hours now on the stream? Like, we move, bro. Like, when they talk about Callum, when they start being unfair, then I start coming in. But you are just
big up the CFC Florida. Big up the CFC Florida for a $5 super chat. A win is a win. Is a win.
Take the free
and move on.
Well said. I was going to end on that note. So CFC Florida, you can hit me or Matt up on social media. Much appreciated. And we'll end it with 6.5, man. 6.5. And Adnan.
No, I didn't get my ratings yet, bro.
Yeah, man, that's racist. What the hell?
Look at the 2 guys at the bottom. That's racist, bro. That's racist, bro.
You're not letting the 2 black guys have their rating. That's racist.
Whoa.
Yo, BLM. BLM.
Whoa.
Yeah, BLM. Yeah.
Yo,
but wait, serious note. All right, let's serious note now. Tuchel, I think he thought about like the international break and stuff. I didn't rate the 5-3-2 formation. I was against it. The subs were poor. And yeah, so he gets a 6.
Oh, that is definitely racist. All right.
You just couldn't wait to say. You just wanted to say something, bro.
Trust me, man. I rate you, but you're snake. But yeah, Javi. I mean, KJ.
Ooh, that's racist.
That is very racist, bro.
Bro, man put hashtag BLM on purpose to send indirects to me when I was backing him, bro. Come on, man.
Hey,
why? At the start of the stream, bro.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was. I'm gonna check.
Anyway, KJ, what's your rating?
6. But that's because I think you're
100% racist. 100%. 100% racist.
Yeah.
Listen. You called me Javi, man. You racist. But listen, the team selection just needs to justify the formation as well, man. I just think
100% Kovačić.
Listen, Alonso didn't even start. He's not even.
That's what I'm saying. You said he has to be justified. Alonso wasn't starting. He should be playing then with your concept, bro.
Bro, Alonso should be retired at this point.
Whoa.
But
bro, you celebrating his goals against Tottenham, if I remember.
Who?
Against Tottenham, he was running down the wing.
Who?
That's racist, KJ.
That's racist.
Alonso.
That's actually racist.
Yeah.
No, Alonso.
No, jokes aside. What's his rating for Tuchel tonight? 6.
I mean, I give him my rating yet.
Sorry, I'm racist.
That's racist.
Yeah, it's so bad. I mean, I would give him 6.5. I think lineup largely was correct, but tactics and the substitutions were wrong. I think he didn't react well to the Brentford substitutions. I think the other guy, something Frank, I can't remember his name, but his substitutions really outdone Tuchel. So, but we got the result. So at the end of the day, it's all that matters. But 6.5. So just for the lineup, really.
Well said.
But
guys, we only at 97 likes. I said to get us to 100. So
yo, guys, I got to shoot it up.
Yeah, but we got four
Javi,
dislikes, so it is 100 like 100.
It is 100, yeah.
Overall, so.
We'll let it go, man.
Yeah. Big up the CFC Florida, $10 super chat. Sadiq, don't let this bogus rating for Thomas Tuchel stand.
Bro, we have to be real though. He was quite bad today, if we're being honest.
Well, Sadiq, there were people on Twitter saying if Malang Sarr does crap, Tuchel has to go.
I did see that. That was bonkers. That's definitely kids. That's
like
the Hudson-Odoi stands. That's Hudson-Odoi stands.
Yeah, it's Hudson-Odoi stands. It's definitely Cho stands.
It's Cho stands.
Don't react to lineups, do they?
Big man thinks it's Cho stands, bro. He was in the lineup, and then they saw Sarr as well.
Yeah, but it's not like Chelsea fans to overreact on lineups, is it?
True. But no, on a serious level, CSC Florida, if you can hit me or Matt up, please, on Twitter, Instagram, WorldWideChels, Matt J Bull 98 on Instagram, Twitter, whatever, please contact us. Very important, very vital. And no, let's not do that. Let's end it, man. Please.
Hey, no, Anthony Taylor, I'd give him a 7. He did well. The ball fraud did all right. The ball fraud could sleep tonight.
I can't give him a 7. I can't be positive to him.
No, he did all right tonight. He could have given the penalty the other way. So there you go.
It was a penalty, right?
I made the point.
I don't think it was offside.
I watched it, and it looked like Anthony Taylor was ready to give the penalty, but he looked over to see if the offside was given. So I think if the linesman didn't flag it, I think he would have given the penalty.
Well, I don't think it was offside, dude.
I think it was very slightly.
They checked it.
His arm was off, but you can't score with your arm, I swear.
Yeah, but they always give arms for offside. So.
Oh yeah, but they changed the rules. They said that if it's very tight, they'll let it go or something.
I don't know. There you go. I mean, the linesman's made a call, so we'll give it.
Yeah. All right, I'll give him a 6 average. Andrew give him a 10, obviously.
The linesman was racist anyway.
Whoa. You know what? I think everyone's favorite word on this channel is racist. Racism or racist. KJ, you know we're joking, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I definitely know.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
You might go behind the scenes and talk to someone else and this guy's a pussy club.
Not like that.
I mean, my favourite word's Ruben Loftus-Cheek, but there you go.
He gave a lot of fouls from
Technically,
Loftus-Cheek.
that's a name, and it's.
He's bodying people. People couldn't handle his man strength.
Yeah, he's going ham still. He's going ham. But 2 hours, man. I want to thank Matt, Andrew, KJ, Alfred, Josh, Kazil. No, not Kazil. Kazil is at work, unfortunately. Ads for coming on. Father, he's actually got some personal issues right now. He messaged me. It's not looking good for him. So hopefully he's safe.
Yep.
Who else? Did I miss out anyone? Alex. Alex, apologize. You came on. I wasn't on. I came on. You wasn't on. It's a shame. Did I miss anyone else out, guys?
No.
Javi. Oh, Javi.
Yeah.
Oh,
my God, Sadiq.
Javi. That is racist. That is racist. Yeah, big up Javi, man. Even though he was a bit late.
Oh, now you do it. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Big up Javi, man. Big up Andrew. And yeah, hopefully we might do a stream tomorrow if everyone's free. We shall see. So yeah, let's get this video to 100 likes. Big up all the donations. Big up Matt. He might be. Well, Matt, are you doing a pod
tomorrow? I'm trying to get
what time. Let me know what time, please. Are you busy?
It's probably 7:30 because I'm trying to get Arrow on, so I'm prioritizing it around him. In the day, generally not.
Okay. All right, cool. I'll shout you.
Okay.
All right,
just shout me what time.
Matt, I'll let you do the outro, bro, and I'll end it with Loftus-Cheek.
Yeah, I mean, guys, make sure you like, subscribe. Obviously, we're nearly at 100 likes. If you could smash it just before we finish, that'd be great. Thank you for listening. Make sure you tune in for tomorrow's video. We got the win. We got the result. We're top of the league. Going into another match. Man United are out of the title race. Ollie at the wheel. Thank you guys for listening. And we're out.
Good performance, man. Don't ever leave Chelsea. Never give up. Loftus-Cheek, always.